Good evening, Ariel. It is January 20 something, and as you can tell, I am in bed. It is nighttime. I have my IKEA blanket, my glasses on, face washed, my hair back so it doesn't get all up in my face when I'm sleeping. And I decided that I am going to start reading to anybody who can't sleep at night bedtime stories. That's right, I am going to be reading aloud bedtime stories. If you don't know this about me, I kind of have a fear of reading out loud, so this is kind of me getting over one of my fears type of thing. There I go, touching my face again. I don't understand it, but I do it a lot. So the book tonight is called The School for Cats by Esther Averill, and she drew the lovely pictures in this also. It's a very tiny book, so we should get through it fast. If I get too worked up or nervous, then we're gonna just finish it another night. So let's get started. The School for Cats. Starting on page number 3. Once upon a time, there was a boarding school for cats off in the country in a white house surrounded by a field of daisies. Cats and kittens, mostly from the towns and cities, went there. Sometimes they went because their masters were obliged to go away from home on trips or business. Sometimes cats went to school to learn good manners. And then they have a picture. One of the cats was Pickles. He was a big spotted cat who lived in the winter in New York City with a fireman in the engine house. But in the summer, when the streets were hot, the fireman sent Pickles to the boarding school to get the country air and to improve his manners. The fireman let Pickles take his own hook and ladder, which they had built for him. It was a very special fire department cat. The teacher gave him a privilege of having it at school. He loved to drive his hook and ladder through the field of daisies. Best of all, he liked to chase the little cats with it. There he is, being a meanie and pushing down the daisies. See? He's knocking them over. One day in June, a little black cat went to school on board the train from New York City. She was supposed to stay at school while her master was away at sea. Her name was Jenny Linsky, and she traveled on the train all by herself inside a wicker basket. Whisker basket, huh? No pun intended. Now and then the train conductor spoke to her. "Cheer up, school can be fun," he said. Jenny did not believe him. She had never been to any school, and she was scared. The teacher met Jenny at the country station and drove her down a bumpy road to school. By the time they reached the school, Jenny was so frightened that she crawled beneath the parlor sofa. The understanding teacher let her eat supper there alone. After supper, when the pupils trooped into the parlor for the evening lesson in manners, Jenny watched them from beneath the sofa. Pickles entered on his hook and ladder, and after he had parked it carefully behind the radio, the teacher said, "Now that we are ready, let us sing our little song." The pupils sang. "If you will learn manners," the dear teacher said, "then you shall have catnip before you go to bed." "Oh, give us our catnip," the kittens insisted. "Without any catnip, our manners get twisted." Untwist your best manners," the kind teacher said, "for you shall have catnip before going to bed." "Honk, honk," said Pickles when song was over. The teacher took a jar of catnip from the parlor shelf. "Will the cats and kittens form a line?" she said. They formed a line beginning with the smallest cat and ending with the big Pickles. The cat in front stood up. Catnip. There's all the kitties. The cat in the front stood up, dipped his paw into the jar of catnip, took a paw full of tasty leaves, and stepped inside. Sounds like something else, don't you think? The next cat did as the first cat had done, and so did all the others, each in turn. "Oh, aren't they clever?" Jenny thought. "Do what they are doing." After the pupils put their catnip on the floor and sniffed and rolled in it until the clock struck 9, and it was bedtime. Then they scampered into the big bedroom and got in their little beds like angels. These beds had mattresses and pillows and the posts made of log so the pupils could sharpen their claws before breakfast. Jenny was carried by the teacher to a bed which had a bright red scarf on it. "This is your own bed," the teacher said to Jenny. "Sleep well, and in the morning you can get acquainted with your schoolmates." Jenny lay down and tucked her little black nose in the scarf she had worn to school. It was a scarf her dear master, Captain Tinker, had knitted for her with his own hands. It made her very homesick. After the teacher went away, One of the cats asked Jenny if she would like to join in a pillow fight. Jenny was too homesick to reply. Meanwhile, the fire cat, Pickles, had gone to the closet and taken out his fire truck. He sat down on the driver's seat, honked the horn, and cried, "Make way for the hook and ladder," then drove towards Jenny's bed and bumped it. Jenny was so startled that she leaped and landed on the floor, Big Pickles, and chased her. A cat called out, "Go easy, Pickles," but Pickles drove as fast as he could drive, and Jenny ran as fast as she could run. At last she saw a fireplace, and she crawled beneath the chair to get there. Big Pickles followed her and collided with the chair. It fell over with a bang. The teacher had been downstairs sewing in the parlor. When she heard the rumpus, she rushed up to find out what had happened. She reached the bedroom just in time to see a black hind leg and a tail disappearing up the chimney. Pickles was sitting on his hook and ladder looking very innocent. The other cats were lying quietly on their beds, but the teacher knew exactly what had happened. She turned to Pickles and said, "Naughty Pickles, you have driven Jenny up the chimney." That's a lesson, boys and girls. Don't drive Jennies up chimneys with hooks and ladders. That's all for tonight. I'll finish the rest of the book tomorrow. Sleep well, guys.